Hey, what's happening, y'all? Jamixdowns here with Intention Music Tech, and in this video, I'm going to put you on to not just my favorite free mixing plugins, but these are actually some of my favorite plugins, period, that I use on almost all my mixes and actually play a huge role in my overall mixing sound. So I'm really excited to share these tools with you guys because I know that they're going to help you as much as they've helped me over all the years. And because these free plugins have been so effective and instrumental for me, I feel it's my responsibility to share them with you guys, and hopefully it'll help prevent you from spending unnecessary money on paid for plugins when you know there are equivalent and in some cases even better free options that we all have access to. It's just a matter of being aware that they exist. And even though I'm only covering a few of my favorites in this video, there's actually a ton of incredible free tools out there that you guys should not only be aware of, but you can be utilizing right away to enhance your mixes and of course enhance your overall productions without actually having to spend any of your hard-earned cash. And trust me, I know firsthand what it's like when you first start getting that plugin itch and start getting what I call plugin happy, trying to chase results by spending all your money on what the ads say will transform your mixes immediately to a professional sound overnight. And of course, there's definitely a lot of great tools out there, but it's important for you guys to know that fancy plugins are not going to be the determining factor in your overall results when you're mixing. And this is something I preach all the time and will continue to preach just because I know how important it is for new mixers and producers to understand this. Education is what gets big time results, not plugins and gear. So my goal with this video is to make sure you guys are aware that there are plenty of comparable free options out there that will get the job done just as well as a lot of the paid for products, and you can invest that money you would have otherwise spent into education. So for those of you who are new to Intention Music Tech and the channel, you'll be happy to know that I got your back when it comes to accessing free plugins, as I've compiled a list of almost all the free plugins on the market for you guys to access all in one place. And I've already done all the hard work of not only sourcing them out for you guys, but also organizing for you to have easy access to these incredible free tools. And the best part about the plugin guide is that the list is constantly updated when a new free plugin hits the market. So this is a great resource for you guys to take advantage of. So make sure you click the link in the description. Check out intentionmusictech.com to access all the free goodies. Okay, so enough of the intro. Let's get into my top 10 favorite free mixing plugins. And even though I do use some of these plugins more than others, keep in mind that this list is in no particular order. So let's get to it. All right, so the track we're using for today's video is called Fetty, and the artist's name is KC's Fantasy. Super talented artist from Nigeria. He does Afro beats and he's an incredible rapper. So make sure you check out his music on all streaming platforms. So plugin number one on my favorite free plugins list, I have to put Saturation Knob by Softtube is number one. And this is a plugin I've been using for as long as I can remember. It's just been a go-to of mine pretty much from day one since I found it. And the way that I use it is on instruments, and I use it to get my instruments to cut through the mix without using an EQ. Now, we have to be really careful when we're boosting frequencies with our instruments and our vocals to make sure that they're not clashing. And using saturation and using harmonic exciters is a great way to do this without using an EQ. And the saturation knob has always been really effective for me to get my instruments to cut through the mix without having to use an EQ. So I'm going to show you how this sounds on the track. I'm just going to play the track first so we can hear what we're working with. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how this sounds on this lead synth here. This is kind of driving the whole production, this lead synth. I'm going to solo it so you can hear it. So what I do in situations like this, I use a saturation knob to help instruments like this cut through the mix, and watch what happens when I bypass, when I engage it, how it immediately you can hear it cut through the mix. So I'm gonna do this one more time. So as you can see, that makes a huge difference. And again, the reason I'm doing this is so I don't have to use an EQ to start having my frequencies clash. So this is a really important technique to utilize when you're mixing, is using saturation and harmonics and distortion to your advantage. And it's just a super easy plugin to use. And you can use it for creative purposes as well. The more that I boost this, the more drive that it gets and the more distortion it adds to the synth. And it's just got 3 settings here. We have it high, neutral, and low. And I'm just going to go through these. I'm going to boost it and go through it so you can hear what it's doing to the signal. So as you can see, I can actually push it pretty hard before we start getting any crazy distortion, and it just really helps that synth cut through the mix. And again, this works on most instruments, whether it's guitars or brass or horns, just anything, any type of instrumentation like that. Of course, synths, pads, I use it on everything, and it just works. And again, I've been using this from day one. This has been a go-to of mine, so big up to Soft2, big up to Saturation Knob. This is number 1 on my list of favorite free plugins. All right, so number 2 on my list is another distortion plugin, and this is a harmonic exciter, and this is Revival from Slate Digital. Now, if I have to be completely honest, this could possibly be my favorite out of all the free plugins on the market, just because of what it's able to do, its simplicity, and it just works. So I'm gonna pull it up here and show you. So with this particular plugin, I'm going to bring in, you need to download this whole virtual mix rack, which is free to do. And it actually comes with other free plugins. So this is the Revival here. But there's also, I believe, maybe 3 or 4 other free plugins that comes with the virtual mix rack when you download it. So again, with this plugin, you have to download this virtual mix rack, and the Revival is free when you do that. So with this Revival, this is a harmonic exciter, and it's really easy to use, like the Saturation Knob. It's got its high-end exciter here, and then it's got its low-end exciter called Thickness. And I generally, me personally, I tend to use more of the thickness setting on this particular plugin. It works incredibly well for thickening up vocals, and it works incredibly well for thickening up drum buses and using it on the master track or your mix bus to thicken up the entire mix. So I'm going to show you guys 2 examples of how I use this. And first, we're going to look at the vocal. So let's check out the chorus here. And I'm actually just going to mute this. So I'm going to bring this plugin back into the screen here. And I'm just going to mute this Revival for now. And I'm going to actually we can keep the high end on for now. But let's play the chorus and see how it sounds without it.
I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty, nah. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty. I keep counting, nah.
So it sounds really good, but what I want to do is just thicken up that vocal a bit. And again, I do this without using an EQ, so we don't get those frequency clashes. And this is just tends to work the majority of the time when I'm looking to thicken up a vocal. So I'm going to A/B this so you can see how it sounds.
I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty, nah. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty. I keep counting, nah. Can't get enough of all this Betty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty, nah. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this Betty. I keep counting.
So as you can see, it just thickens up that vocal in a pleasing and musical way. It doesn't muddy up the vocal. And what I really like about this plugin is that you can really push it. So I'm actually going to show you what I mean here. I have this pushed pretty heavy right now, but it's very subtle. And that's what I like with my plugins. Personally, when I'm adding to the signal, I like plugins that have subtle qualities to them. So watch what happens when I push this thickness knob here.
Keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. Nah, I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, nah. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. Nah, I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, nah.
So as you can see, you can really push it there and you still don't get too much muddiness. And again, this is just something that tends to work for me on most of my vocals when it comes to trying to thicken them up a bit. And I'm going to show you how the shimmer knob works as well. This is really good high-end exciter as well. And again, I don't tend to use it as much as the thickness, but I have used it on this track. And I just want to show you guys how it sounds.
Keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. Nah, I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, nah. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. Nah, I keep counting, can't get enough of all this petty. I keep counting.
So as you can see, it's just got a real sweetness to it. That's the word I'll use to describe it. It's just got a sweet top end sound to it. And again, you can just really push it. It's very subtle and it just tends to work. And I use this on most of my vocals, especially when it comes to thickening up a vocal. It does it in a musical way without getting the muddiness, and that's very important when it comes to mixing any sort of vocal. So the next thing I want to show you guys is using this on a master track and thickening up the master without having to boost the low end again on an EQ. So let me X that out of here, and then we'll go to my master track. And let's check this out here. Maybe we'll use it in a different section of the song here just to switch it up a bit.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it.
So because it's on the master, of course, it's not going to be as subtle. So we have to be really careful with this, but I'm going to dial it in here and then A-B it for you guys.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling.
Just has a really unique ability to make the track sound full. Again, without making it muddy. So let me A-B this so you can see what I'm talking about.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space gotta be on my.
And again, you don't need much of it. You got to be careful, especially when you're using it on your master. But as you can see, it just really thickened it up. Let me just A-B it one more time so you guys can hear it again.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be balling. Yeah, straight to.
So depending on what you guys are listening to this video in, you can definitely hear the difference. It's very subtle, but it's very musical at the same time. And this is why I love this plugin, the Revival from Slate Digital. Definitely one of my all-time favorite free plugins. So shout out to Slate Digital for Revival and creating this incredible tool and giving it to us for free. I don't know where my mixes would be without it. And I'm happy that I'm able to share it here with you guys in this video. All right, so plugin number 3 is a modulation plugin, and it's called Multiply by Acon Digital. Now, this is my go-to when I'm using a chorusing effect. This is a chorusing effect plugin, and the reason why I like it so much is because it's got so many features built into it, and of course it sounds incredible. So let's pull it up here and let's play around with it a little bit. Again, the reason why I like it, it has so many features. It's got a built-in EQ, and it's got the voice count, it's got stereo spread, it's got pre-delay, it's got everything that you need in a modulation plugin, but it also sounds incredible. So I have this set up through my effects end right here. So I'm just gonna bring it in. I'm gonna actually play the vocal without it, and then I'll engage it and play around with it.
I know you just wanna get it right now. I know you just wanna run it right now. I know you just wanna live it right now. I know you just wanna receive it right now.
Okay, so that's the vocal without it. It sounds really good, but let's pop in the multiply, and I'm going to show you guys how this bad boy sounds.
I know you just wanna get it right now. I know you just wanna run it right now. I know you just wanna live it right now. I know you just wanna receive it right now. But it's that bad, get that bad right now. I told my nigga count that kid right, to my brain right now.
So this is the voice count. As you can see, this can come in really handy when you're trying to thicken up a vocal and get that kind of specific effect. And then it's got the stereo spread.
I know you just wanna get it right now. I know you just wanna run it right now. I know you just wanna live it right now. I know you just wanna receive it right now. But it's that bad, get that bad right now. I told my nigga count that kid right, to my brain right now.
So of course I've exaggerated it so you guys can hear what the effect is doing and what all these settings are doing, but I really like this EQ. And also there's a bunch of really good presets here that I'm gonna scroll through so you guys can hear them.
I know you just wanna get it right now. I know you just wanna run it right now. I know you just wanna live it right now. I know you just wanna receive it right now. But it's that bad, get that bad right now. I told my nigga count that kid right, to my bed right.
So ton of really good presets, a ton of really good features, and this is my go-to chorusing effect. So I'm gonna put it back to the dimensioner. I like using this preset on some of my vocals, and I'm gonna A/B it so you can hear what it's doing.
I know you just wanna get it right now. I know you just wanna run it right now. I know you just wanna live it right now. I know you just wanna receive it right now. But it's that bad, get that bad right now. I told my nigga count that kid right, to my bread right now.
So the reason why I like this particular preset is because it just makes the vocal a little bit bigger, and it does give it that modulation, but it does it in a subtle way. It doesn't overdo it. And again, if you're looking for that effect, if you want to overdo it, this is a really good plugin for that as well, because it just sounds great. So this is number 3 on my list of favorite free plugins, the Multiply by Acon Digital. Incredible plugin, ton of great features. And these guys actually also have a lot of other good plugins as well. It's not the most popular plugin company on the market, but they do have really good stuff. So I really advise you guys to check out Acon Digital. All right, so free plugin number 4 is the Slick EQ by Tokyo Dawn Labs. And this again has to be on the list. I've been using it for years, and it's just one of my go-to EQs. Not just paid for EQs, just EQs period. This is an EQ that I use on almost all my tracks. Reason being is because it's so musical and so subtle, and it just works on pretty much everything. So I'm really happy I'm able to share this with you guys if you've never heard of this plugin before, because this is definitely a game changer. If you're new to the game and you're looking for a really good analog type EQ, it just sounds incredible and it's very musical. So what I've done, I'm going to play this little bridge section here, and I'm going to push this EQ and show you how subtle and how musical it actually is. So this is without it.
You You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna push it. I have it at 11.9 kilohertz. And I have it on a shelf here, and I'm gonna boost it.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you know say.
So as you can see, I can really push this, and we're still not getting the harshness that we would normally get from EQs. And this is why I love this EQ so much, because of the result that it's able to get me in that way. And again, it's just really musical, but I'm not getting that harshness that you can get, of course, when you boost a high shelf. And again, I boosted this 13 dB, and I'm pushing it a lot, but I just want to show you guys how flexible this EQ is in that way. So I've boosted it here. I'm also going to boost some mid-range so you hear how the mid-range sounds as well.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah, straight to the roof. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna A/B this now.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah, straight to the roof. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say.
Man, this EQ is just like butter. So as you can see, it just really rounds off that vocal, brightens it up in a very pleasing way. It's not too harsh. And look how much I boosted this, 4.6 dB, 7.9 dB. So you can really push it. The other good thing about this EQ is that it has different settings here. So this is an American EQ, and this basically just has different frequency curves. If you go online, if you go to the website, you can see the different frequency curves that the Slick EQ has. So I'm actually going to cycle through these. There's the British, and there's the German, and there's the Soviet, and they all sound a little bit different because of their frequency curves. So I'm going to run through these so you can hear how they all sound.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'.
So the British one is a little bit brighter than the American.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah, straight to the. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah, straight to the roof.
So all of these sound really, really good, and it's just good to have those options. The last thing that I want to touch on about this plugin that really makes it special is that it actually has saturation included in the plugin, so we can add different types of saturation to our EQ as well. And this is a really good feature that I love about this plugin. So I'm going to cycle through these just so you can hear how they sound.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. Yeah.
I'm going to solo the vocal.
Counting on me, but you never calling. You hope to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You hope to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'.
Gonna do that one more time.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You hope to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You hope to see me falling, but you know say I be ballin'.
So again, we can add different types of saturation to our EQ as well. So if you guys are in the market for a nice sounding analog EQ, it doesn't really get any better than the Slick EQ. I'm telling you guys, I've been using this forever, and I use this more than a lot of my paid for expensive EQs. It just works that well. There's a lot of great settings, and there's actually a paid for version that you can get where it has a parametric element with the bands that you can use as well. And but for a free version, this is the ultimate in sound quality, and it's just a go-to of mine. So Slick EQ by Tokyo Dawn Labs. Make sure you check it out. Okay, so number 5 on the list, we're going to keep it moving with Tokyo Dawn Labs, and we're going to keep it moving with another EQ, and this is the TDR Nova, and this is a dynamic EQ by Tokyo Dawn Labs. And the reason why this has made the list, for a lot of reasons, mainly because it's hard to find a free dynamic EQ. Secondly, because it's made by Tokyo Dawn Labs, it sounds it has the same sound qualities as the Slick EQ. And the combination of those two things alone definitely is why this plugin is one of my favorite free plugins. So I'm going to X this out, and I'm going to bring up the Nova. And we're going to play around with this. So I'm going to play the vocal again, and I'm going to boost it. So again, this sounds like the Slick EQ. So it really has that musical, subtle sound to it. And then again, it's a dynamic EQ, and it also has a frequency spectrum analyzer as well. So I'm going to play this and play around with it.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you see I be falling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you see I be falling. Yeah, straight to the roof. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't to see me falling, but you see.
So as you can see, I've boosted it a lot here on this plugin. I've boosted it 12 dB, but we're still not getting a ton of harshness, and I've already boosted it on the Slick EQ as well. So this is why I love this particular plugin company, and their EQs are just very subtle and very musical.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling.
And it's the same thing on the low end as well. The low end is very subtle. I'm going to boost the low end on this so you guys can hear the low end qualities.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the.
So you can see it thickened up the vocal a lot, but it didn't muddy it up too much. Let's A/B this so you can hear it one more time.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. Yeah.
So great EQ if you want to boost anything. Of course, it works for cutting, but I just love the sonic characteristics of these EQs. And again, let's take a look at the dynamic section of this EQ.
You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. You keep counting on me, but you never calling. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the.
So it's pretty easy to use. We just engage the bands that we want. This plugin doesn't have a lot of bands. It's only got 4 bands and then the 2 filters here. But it just works. And again, there's not a lot of free dynamic plugins on the market. And it just sounds incredible. So TDR Nova by Tokyo Dawn Labs, number 5 on my list. Definite go-to plugin of mine. And if you're in the market for a dynamic EQ and don't want to spend a bunch of money, this is your guy. All right, so favorite free plugin number 6 is the BX Subfilter by Plugin Alliance. And I love this plugin. Like all the rest of them on this list, I've been using them for a long time, and they've become an essential part of my sound, and nothing is different when it comes to the BX Subfilter. And this is a plugin I use primarily on my kick drums, simply because it works. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean here. So I'm actually just going to solo the drums, and we're going to play the drums, of course, without the BX subfilter. Okay, so the kick is there, but it just seems a little bit hollow. There's no oomph there. And the BX subfilter is how we're going to do that without boosting crazy low end with an EQ. So check this out. Great thing about this plugin, again, we can work the punch. I'm going to actually run through these settings, and then we have also a resonance section here where we can add some resonance if we want. And then we can also play around with the Q on the low end. So you can see if we wanted to maintain more of that hollow kind of kick sound, which is okay if that's the sound you're after, we can enhance it with this plugin as well, or we can enhance more of the sub and bass frequencies if we want it to hit a little harder, which in this case, I do want it to hit a bit harder. So let's play around with this in context of the mix and the bass and everything. So first, actually, let's see how it sounds with the 808. See, that sounds much rounder, much fuller, and it's hitting with more impact. So let's see how it sounds in context with the rest of the mix.
I keep counting, can't get enough of all this steady. I keep counting, I keep counting, can't get enough of all this steady. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this steady. I keep counting, can't get enough of all this steady. I keep counting, you keep counting on me, but you never call it. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. You keep counting on me, but you never call it. You don't see me falling, but you see I be falling. Yeah.
So as you can see, that really helps to get some more impact out of the kick, and this has always just been a go-to for me. Without, again, I try and do whatever I can not to boost EQs within my instrumentation to prevent the clashing. Of course, you're still boosting the low end with this, but it just does it in a different way because it's using harmonic resonances, and it's just more pleasing. And again, you're not going to get all of that clashing, and this is a simple plugin to use. And when you download this one, Plugin Alliance, if you're not familiar with Plugin Alliance, they actually have a ton of other free plugins that are really, really useful and effective as well. But BX Subfilter, definitely one of my favorites, and that's why it made my top 10. Okay, so number 7 on my list, we're going to be moving into stereo enhancement tools, and the first one is Wider by Polyverse. And this is a great stereo enhancement tool for the main reason being is because it actually can change your mono signal to a stereo signal. Not all stereo with plugins have the capabilities to do that. They have to be put on a stereo track. But with this one, if you want to change your signal to stereo, it also allows you to do that. And that's why I love it. And of course, it sounds great. It's got a really unique sound to it. So I'm just going to pull it up here. Polyverse Wider. And for this demonstration, I'm going to use it on a double. So when I double vocals, especially a lead vocal, sometimes I'll tend to widen the double just to make the lead sound a little bit bigger and a little more present without having to actually put it on the lead vocal. So this is a little technique that I've been using for years now, and I'm going to show you what I mean here and why this plugin works for this technique. So I'm going to play the vocal without the double first.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
Okay, so it sounds good like that, but for this particular mix, I've decided to double it up. So I'm going to play you the double.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs.
So this was a really good double. Everything was really on point with it. And I'm actually just going to get rid of this just to show you guys. So see here in Pro Tools, this shows that the signal is in mono, of course. It's just got one mono track here, and then when I bring in the polyverse, watch what happens right here. It changes it to a stereo track. So again, that's a big feature with this particular plugin, and it just sounds, it's got a really unique sound to it with the doubling effect that it has with it when it's widening the vocal. So let's play around with it and see how it sounds.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
Okay, so I'm going to solo this track so you can hear what it's directly doing on the track before we get into the double.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time.
So that's one issue with this plugin when you try and bypass it. As you can see, it just because it changed it to a stereo signal, when you bypass it, it's trying to go back to the mono signal. But in this plugin, we have a mono button here, which is really, really effective.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Practice space, gotta be on my grind. That the truth, so
as you can see there, it's got that doubling modulation effect, which is really cool. So if you want to keep things more natural and more subtle, then this sometimes isn't the best plugin for that. But if you want to get sort of a unique effect and you really want to widen it, I find that this plugin does a really good job of really getting that width out when you put it on your track. So what I want to show you guys is just the technique that I use in a real time scenario and how I would use this plugin. And again, I use it on sometimes when I double my vocals, I'll put it on the double and spread it out to make the lead vocal seem bigger and have a little more width to it. Because when you put a stereo width plugin on the lead vocal, it will just make it sound unnatural and we don't get the right effect that we're after. So let's check this out.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs.
Really cool thing. This is an updated version of Wider, and it has this feature which the old version didn't have, and we can take out some of those low ends. So when you get the doubling effect, it just naturally adds some more. It adds low end to the signal, and we can actually roll some of it out here. So let's see how that sounds.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs.
So as you can see, when I've done that, it just makes that lead vocal so much bigger. And the key to using doubles in this way is that you try to not have it very present. You kind of want to make it sound like it's not even there to a degree. So typically when you spread, when you use these stereo tools, the perception of it is that it's louder. So when you do spread it, sometimes you're going to have to bring the volume down on the double. So let's do that.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. And keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie. Not the truth. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to.
So you can see that we've made that vocal bigger and wider in a subtle way, and this is a common technique that I'll use when I'm doubling vocals. And of course I don't always double vocals. I've decided to in this track, but this is why I love wider. Again, it can make the signal stereo, and it's just a great stereo width tool that works, and it sounds incredible. So wider coming in at number 7. Okay, so number 8 on the list, we're going to keep it moving with stereo enhancement tools, and this is A1 Stereo Control by A1 Audio. And again, this is another great stereo enhancement tool. It's a little bit different than wider and gives you some different looks, and that's why I use them both in tandem depending on the specific mix situation. So if we're gonna look at the same mix situation that I have here as far as widening the double vocal, I'm going to get rid of wider, and I'm going to bring in the A1 stereo. So this is what I mean by why I like wider, because you can automatically bring it in and it changes the signal to stereo. But if I'm looking in my plugin list here, the A1 stereo is not there because the track already needs to be in stereo. So a quick way to do this, I'll actually just bring wider back in. It changes it to stereo, and then I'm just going to bypass it. And now when I go into my sound field here, we have the A1 stereo control. And this is a very similar plugin to the Waves S1 imager, but this one is free, and I believe it has most of the same settings and options as the S1 imager. And the difference between these two plugins is that this has more panning features, and you can play around with it more in the stereo field. And when you widen the signal, it doesn't add that doubling effect. So a lot of times you don't want that actual doubling effect like what wider has, and you just want to spread it but kind of keep it a little more natural. And that's why this plugin is handy for that. So let's hear how it sounds.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs, keep doing this shit.
I'm gonna solo it so we can hear how it sounds soloed first.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs, keep doing this shit every time. Practice space, gotta be on my grind. That the truth, so I know the lie.
And the other good thing about this plugin is that you can actually narrow the stereo field as well, and that can come in handy in a lot of situations if you're trying to get things even more center and get them out of the way of maybe other things that you have spread out. So this is another really, really cool feature on this plugin. The other good thing about this plugin is that you can it has the panning options as well, so we can play around with it.
They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs, keep doing this shit every time. Practice space, gotta be on my grind. That the truth, so I know the lie.
So that's a really good feature that it has. And then also there's expert mode here where it has all these other features if you need to implement them. Usually I don't need to go that far for my mixes, and I'll just use it in easy mode. But again, this is a great stereo width plugin for free that has the same functionality as the S1 imager, but it's free, and it just gives you a few more panning options. And then also, again, when you're widening the audio, it's not going to give it as much as the doubling effect as a plugin like wider. So this is one of my go-to stereo width plugins. It's free, I love it, and it's number 8 on my list of top 10 favorite plugins. All right, y'all, number 9 on the list, and this is one of those plugins where it's pretty much on everybody's list of favorite free plugins. It's just that good, it's that unique, and sometimes I can't believe that it's actually a free plugin, and that is Supermassive by Valhalla. And again, this is such a popular plugin, not just because it's free, just because it's so good. And yeah, of course, because it's free, but it just is such a unique plugin. And what it is a delay that actually can add reverb to the delays in a really unique way. And I'm going to show you how it sounds. So I'm going to pull up Supermassive, and I'm gonna use it on this vocal here, and I'm just gonna dial it in a bit.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
Okay, so I'm gonna crank the mix on this because I have it set up on an effects end, and I'm gonna play around with it so you can hear what it's doing. So the good thing about this plugin, it's got so many different kinds of delays here that you can use as far as sounds. And then what's cool about it is this warps feature here. So it says adjust the delay lengths relative to the delay settings. So listen to how this warp feature sounds.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I...
So what it does is change the delay timings a bit, and it just gives it such a cool echo sound. And I'm going to put this back to 0 here. We have of course, the traditional feedback here, but the density is the other really cool setting on this plugin that really sets it apart from other delay plugins. So if we look here, it says controls density of echoes when feedback is turned up. 0% equals discrete echoes, 100% equals echoes quickly turn to reverb. And that's the really unique feature about this particular plugin. So let's play around with the density.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
And this plugin, of course, it doesn't just work on vocals. I'm using it on vocals in this example, but this works really good. As you can see, it would work on any type of instrument, any type of cool delay effect that you're after. This gives you so many different options and so many different looks, and this is why it's so famous and popular amongst producers and engineers. And it's just kind of a staple plugin that people have, and you know, sometimes I can't believe that it's actually free. So let's dial this in on this vocal and just see how it sounds on this vocal particular and how it adds a certain texture.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
So I'm gonna A/B this.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
Man, I love how that delay tail sounds, and you can just really dial this in and get some incredible unique sounds with this plugin because it has that mixture of having the unique delay sounds and then also adding the reverb with the density setting. And I'm gonna actually just scroll through some of these different delay sounds here so you can hear how they sound.
Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie. Yeah, straight to the roof. They loving the way that I do. I told them got nothing to prove. I do it cause I wanted to. For the sake of dollar signs. Keep doing this shit every time. Pack space, gotta be on my grind. Not the truth, so I know the lie.
So as you can see here, you can really get crazy with this plugin, and it's definitely one of my all-time favorites. And of course, it had to make the list of top 10. That's Supermassive by Valhalla, and of course, Valhalla is famously known to have incredible reverbs. They're not free like this one, but they are not expensive. They're very inexpensive. I believe they're still $50 for their reverb. So if you are in the market for a good reverb, make sure you check out the rest of their stuff. Don't let the interfaces confuse you. They might not look too fancy, but the sound is what counts, and Valhalla is famously known for having incredible reverbs. And of course, Valhalla Supermassive had to make the list of my top 10. All right, y'all, we got to number 10, and to be honest, I have to cheat a little bit here. Mainly, this is actually for your guys' benefit. So I'm not actually picking one plugin. I am showing you guys a couple of plugin companies that offer incredible free tools. And I'm not even going to go through them because it would take a while because there's so many plugins. You guys just kind of have to take my word for how incredible these plugin companies are and how incredible these free tools are. So the first plugin company that I want to bring up to you guys is Acoustica. Now, if you guys are new to music production or fairly new, these aren't the most popular plugin companies, but they make incredible software and they have a ton of free options. So if we go to shop here and then we click free, as you can see, they have all of these free tools, and I'm telling you guys, they all sound incredible. And this one has a lot of options here. We have it looks like a preamp here, powerful all-in-one mix bus plugin for hyper technology, a saturator plugin, analog compressors. If you're really like in the market for any type of analog plugins, these are the companies that you need to check out for free options and keep that money in your pocket. They have this incredible EQ here that I use quite a bit. They have Coffee the Pun. This is a really cool EQ as well, and they just have a ton of free options here. All this stuff is incredible. They even have a headphone mixing plugin. They have these incredible reverbs. These are incredible tools. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of these companies and these tools out here, because again, they're not the most popular, but I feel it's my responsibility to spread the word. So that's plugin company number 1, Acoustica, incredible plugins. Plugin company number 2 is Analog Obsession. Now, these guys started making some waves in the last few years because they specialize in analog plugins and they are free. So now they have a business model where they want you to have a Patreon account and basically just donate to them, which of course is okay when you see what you're getting. And you don't actually have to donate for all of the plugins. There's still a lot of free plugins that you get here. But again, for you guys that want to start venturing into using more analog plugins and getting more of an analog sound without having to spend your money, Analog Obsession is incredible. So if we go here to EQs, I'm just going to browse through these. Again, I'm not going to actually use them in the session because there's too many plugins. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The plugins, or sorry, the website looks like it's loading a bit slow here, so we can't see them. Let me refresh this, see if that helps. No, the plugins, sorry, the website's just really slow today. Sorry, guys. But I just wanted to show you guys, look at all these options. These are incredible tools, and these are all, and the work that these guys do is incredible. All these plugins sound great. Tons of top engineers rave about these plugins as well as I do. So these are just the EQs here. So if we go to the dynamics processing, they have a ton of compressors as well. And again, a lot of these plugins are still free. You can still get them for free, but they do want you to have a Patreon account and sign up. So just clicking on this plugin here, this is a vintage limiter, and then you can see SubMe $5 per month, or you can just kind of join for free, and then you can just give them whatever you feel is worth it. So I actually really like that business model, and these guys deserve any penny that you can cough up to them. But again, there's just a ton of options here. All these plugins are incredible. So that's why I had to cheat a little bit for this tutorial, end it on this note. I had to put the word on these companies. Again, this is Acoustica Audio and Analog Obsession, 2 incredible companies. Just so you guys know, before I wrap it up here, I have a free plugin guide on my website, so you can actually get access to any free plugin on the market, or at least most of them. Like I said before, I don't have a team of people working for me. Sometimes I might miss them here or there, but eventually I will get it updated. So make sure you go to www.attentionmusictech.com. Check out all the free plugins and just download them there. You don't have to search the net for all this stuff. It's just all organized for you. So there it is, y'all, my top 10-ish favorite free plugins that I love and use on almost every one of my tracks. And on a closing note, it's really important that I give all the companies that are giving away these amazing free products a big shout out and a big thank you, as they are now so instrumental to my overall sound, and my mixes definitely wouldn't be the same without them. Now, I know these days there are a lot of free plugins that are constantly hitting the market, and it can be challenging to keep up with it all. And unfortunately, I don't have a team scouring the internet looking for new software to stay completely up to date with them every day, and I may miss some of them from time to time. So I'm asking you guys to help me out a bit and let me know if you come across any great free plugins that I don't have on the website. So make sure you shoot me a comment so I can get it up to date and spread the word. So as always, I hope this video was helpful to y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll see y'all soon.